Hello my lovelies. So, hair's out, nails are off, gloves are off. We are entering or moving into, oh there's a little pink heart. We are coming up towards this full moon in Cancer. I just have a little bit of a chat, I don't want to go on, and I keep seeing this I know it's the sun, we're not used to it, but this blue light that's making it feel like the camera's smoky, but it's not. Oh, so yeah, just a little bit of chat about what might be coming up with this full moon in Cancer. And I'm only going to go on past experiences of my Cancer moon. It has made me stay in situations that didn't serve me because of generational things, my maternal aspect. So, you know, it's got this, I mean, I think it's one of the oldest planets. So it's got this sort of feeling of my moral mother nurturing duties. So I don't know whether that's going to come up possibly. But it's kind of like, on the flip side, it's kind of like putting everyone's needs before your own, which is only what I've felt with having a Cancer moon. So we're going to ask for a message from the fairies of the highest level, protection of the highest level, opportunities. What do we need to release before we're leading up to this full moon? It's like a closure. It's called the wolf moon, so there could be a lot of howling, a lot of releasing, a lot of crying, but definitely kind of on the maternal divine feminine side. Let's see what we get. What's the message? That was quick. So we have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a healing period, and it is that I'm releasing and then I need to rest. They're nurturing each other. So the Four of Swords is like I'm going inward. I'm going to have this little rest. I need to heal. So it comes after the Three of Swords, which is heartbreak. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Knave of Pentacles. So that's the new beginning, something coming in, a brand new idea, which we would expect after the closure of the cycle of the moon. But at this present moment, the message is the Four of Swords. Take time out to heal, but they're not doing it alone. They're looking after each other, and they're both having a rest, having a little sleep. So we'll ask the Oracle fairies for some more guidance on this. See what we get. Got my glasses ready, like I said. I'm gloves off, hair out. There's a lot of fears coming up to the surface as well, with new beginnings and stuff that I'm working through. Just me personally. But it may be collective. Stepping into new roles. We've got two. So we've got inspiration, glasses, inspiration. Now she's literally up on one tiptoe. Be prepared, as you'll soon receive a visit from the Fairy of Inspiration come dusk or dawn. She can call at any time. Now we've been in our little glistening wings group, I watched a film. It's called Cursed, which put me off, which is probably why they never got a second series. But they say born at the dawn, born of the dawn, to greet each other, to know that they're from the fairy realm, and die at the dusk, or pass at the dusk, I can't remember. But it has that feeling of, even though we're midwinter, it's the fairy of inspiration is, oh my God, I've got new ideas, which is where we birth our new ideas in this hibernation period, and then bring them, like you say. It looks kind of spring-like there, and she's springing into step. And again, the Ace of Pentacles is a new idea. It's a new, it's the beginning of, it's the birth of a new inspiration, which is what those bubbles are. Thoughts of how to create pentacles, which doesn't necessarily mean money, but it could be a new business idea. And then we've got celebration. Get ready to let your hair down. Well, it's time to go out and dance and play. An invitation could be on its way. And they are definitely dancing under the moonlight. They're in sync with each other. They're joining hands. This is a coming together. This could be coming together within oneself, the divine masculine, divine feminine, the light today, the divine masculine, the divine feminine coming into union. But it's something to celebrate, and it looks like it could be this brand new idea, this spark of inspiration after a period of healing. Now there's purple here, which again, there's two stars or two lanterns, mushrooms on light, but it's definitely purple, and it's definitely heart space. So it's definitely third eye, you know, there's something to celebrate, which could have been born through during this period of rest. And pink representing the heart chakra. So heart-based movement forward. There's none left in the box there. We shall get whispers of healing. The light. And isn't it funny how, you know, we literally are under the weather at the moment. It's having such an effect. And that's not, you know, I mean, obviously some people suffer with SAD, but I'm talking heavy, because things have changed. Right, so give me something for the Four of Swords and celebration. I mean, the Four of Swords is doing the healing work. Four of Swords and celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. There's a party going on around here. Something with the Four of Swords and celebration and inspiration. This is an opportunity. Collectively, it's always an opportunity. We can choose to stay in you know, our cycles. So we have unconditional love. Again, that came out the other day. It's about unconditionally loving oneself, unconditionally giving, unconditionally receiving. There are no attachments. But in doing that, opening our heart space, unconditionally giving, you can have this, I don't want anything in return, being open to it is a natural flow, and this is how it lights up. To me, all those all those chakras are and the colours are through being open. It's a 6 as well. 42 is 6, so it's that giving and receiving. And we had another one as well, nurture again. So with this, it's number 4. So 4 of swords, 4 of nurture again. What she's done is she's taken herself out of the water, so possibly out of these deep, overwhelming emotions. But again, this is in line with this full moon in Cancer. It's about nurturing. It's wanting to nurture other people, wanting to look after other people, make sure they're okay, wanting to give unconditionally, but we need to be open to receiving unconditionally as well. And then she's a mermaid, but she's curled herself up above sea level, if you like, because you can see all the fish and everything underneath, and she's wrapped her tail in. She's even got feathers down her back, which is so beautiful. Now we've got the new moon here, so maybe this is between the period of this up and coming full moon to the new moon, is it's time to go inward. But what I love about this card, which I'll show you in a minute, is that she's letting all the water, that's definitely it's really, she's letting all the water pour out of her head. So it's this release. Nurturing oneself is it's okay to cry. I posted that this morning. Crying isn't melancholy. Crying actually is a release of whatever it is that's built up. And it's like she's letting it back. She's pulled herself in, she's curled herself up, and she's letting this emotion, all the emotions, come out of her head and back into the water, the stream. Bottom of the deck we have strength, and there is a full moon here, and it's a number 6, it's a number 10, so it's a completion of. But strength is having the strength to say, I need some time out, I've got a little bit of healing to do. I'm unconditionally loving myself first. I'm going to take some time out to nurture what it is that I want, myself, my body, and having this strength. She is riding the lion, tiger. She's riding the tiger. She's riding the tiger through this moon. So there could be, and I'll get some more cards on this, there could be some boundaries that need setting during this moon, especially if energetically you've got people dependent on you who are not willing to give you this 4 of Swords space to heal. But there's definitely a celebration, a coming together, and this could be the divine masculine and the feminine within. But definitely we'll get some more on the celebration. Let's get some more on the celebration. But strength at the bottom of the card, which is a number 10, and the full moon, which is the completion of a cycle. And then underneath that we've got alternative. So this is, again, that's a full moon. So it's an alternative way of doing things, an alternative way of seeing things. What she's doing there is she's looking at the rings in the tree. The other fairy's sitting on the mushroom, but she's using the knowledge, which is past knowledge. When we think about trees and we cut them down, we can tell how old they are by the rings that are in them. So they go back hundreds of years. So she's tuning in to she's getting information from the trees, which is an alternative to what we're used to what we're told, you know, is the way at the moment. And she's got her wand out and she's actually healing the other fairies' wings with this alternative way of being, way of healing, but it's old. It's old knowledge. Now let's get some more on this Four of Swords. Unconditional love, always for self. Then, you know, we have to fill our cup. And these two Four of Swords in their resting period feel like they may have, you know, emptied. But there's two cards here of a number 4, which is foundations. 4 is foundations, but it's nurture, nurturing, which is what the full moon in Cancer represents. It's that divine feminine wanting to nurture, wanting to look after other people. But this is definitely drawing in to, we have to, you know, nurture ourselves before we can look after other people. So we've got the Chariot moving forward. So this is taking control of one's life. After going into this period of Four of Swords, resting, healing, maybe doing some shadow work, we then take up the reins. This is the Strength card. This could be where the inspiration comes from. This is, right, I've done my healing, I'm now moving forward. And she does look like the Queen of Wands. But she's done her work. She's mastered her shadow and her light. She's integrated them. She's, what's the word? You know, transcended it into, I'm now going to take control. I'm in charge of my life. I'm going to move forward in whatever direction I choose. And it comes out with the Sun. So the Sun is vitality, good health, you know, everything that the Sun gives us is one of the most positive cards in the deck, representing that all good feeling. But she's got the child on her lap, so that again, that's nurturing, that's new beginnings. We'll get a little bit more on that. The Sun is represented, it's Leo as well, but obviously with the Moon, this is something that's going to light us up. This is something that's going to bring us joy. We are moving in the direction of joy. I'm going to take my shadow and my light. I'm going to integrate them. I'm going to move forward towards the sun. There's sunflowers in there. They always head towards the sun. So whatever it is that makes you happy, and this is what needs celebrating. It might not be an invitation. It might not be our you know, when we think of celebrating, we normally think of going out, you know, oh, 3D, going out to the pub, you know, dancing, yes. But celebration can also be celebrating oneself. I give celebration to myself. Now that could be putting some music on, you know, it doesn't have to be this, you know, let's go out and all get wasted and wake up feeling like shit the next day. This is like, there is cause for celebration, and that cause for celebration is I've been healing. I've been unconditionally loving myself. I've been nurturing myself. And now I'm ready. I've integrated my shadow, my light. I'm taking control. I'm going to head towards the sun. I'm going to do what makes me happy. We've got the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So the Queen of Pentacles isn't necessarily, it's divine feminine with no lack. She doesn't lack anything. She's mastered, you know, she's gone through all of the pentacles. The Queen represents the crown chakra on top. Whenever we get to a Queen stage, it means we've activated that part of our crown that has manifested what it is that we need. And she's sitting pretty. She doesn't chase. She's quite happy being on her own. And again, with the full moon in Cancer, it is that divine feminine Queen of Pentacles. There is no lack. I'm not, oh, I wish I had this, I wish I had that. No, she understands that she has everything that she needs, and she's worked hard to get to that. And she's abundant, but it doesn't necessarily mean that she's got loads of money. We have to change our idea of what abundance means. I saw a post the other day, and abundance can mean abundance in being able to take a rest, in taking time out. 6 of Pentacles at the bottom. 4, Queen of Pentacles. Now the Queen of Pentacles loves, you know, to make sure that everybody around her is happy. She's got enough to give, is what I'm saying. She's got enough so that she doesn't, you know, leave herself short. She's got a kingdom. That fell out on the Queen of Pentacles. So it's the world, completion. I've gone through all the cycles. I've closed out all these lessons that I needed to learn. I'm on top of the world. I'm on the top of the world, looking down on creation. And the only explanation I can find is the love that I found. So that's the unconditional love. It's that learning of a lesson, completing. And again, they are in surrender position. Their arms are open, they're leaning back, they've surrendered to the cycles. That's the unconditional love. Now this could have been a time of withdrawing. Again, the 4 of Swords is going within, healing. The Hermit is at the bottom of the card. So that's seeking out inner knowledge. All the answers that we need are within ourselves. And that's when, you know, when we feel like we're in darkness, it's possibly, we are the light. We've got to find, it's that inner knowledge that comes to light from not necessarily going into isolation, but going within. So celebration, but I do feel it's this celebration of completing the healing, understanding, not being, the Queen of Pentacles isn't codependent on anything outside of herself. She's mastered the art of abundance and knows that it doesn't come from anything outside of herself. Anything, give me something on the celebrations. What's happening? I do think it is just, you know, give yourself a pat on the back for going in, doing the work, taking the time out, healing old wounds. Clarity at the bottom of the deck, and the Nine of Cups. So this is a wish fulfillment coming in. It fell out on the Chariot and the Sun. So this is something that's been manifested. It's a wish fulfillment. Now here we have like this couple that are cuddling each other. So you could have manifested a partnership. Doesn't necessarily mean it's romantic, but it's, I've got 9 of Cups and I'm going to fill them with my wishes. This is something that's been manifested that's going to give you that that feeling of contentment. This is my wish fulfillment coming in. Chariot, and that fell out on celebrations. Now, bottom of the deck is the Ace of Swords. So this was an aha moment. It could have been the truth. The truth, the Ace of Swords often represents the truth or a new idea or a change of thinking when we, you know, are constantly looking after other people, have responsibilities, don't take accountability for our actions, and then we go into you know, that word, it'll come to me, but when we've done the work and then we have this aha, I have a sword and the moon is underneath, so I have this sword. This sword also is, I can cut ties with anything that no longer serves me. I want one of these tattooed on my back. You know, I've got this, and the truth either came from within or it was revealed to you. See how it's piercing through that rose? It's like clarity, new idea, new inspiration, sword of truth, and then the moon at the bottom. So this could be either, this is where we're at the minute doing the healing, but this is coming up. And she's glowing round her head. So anything that was in the dark, in the shadows, is going to be brought to light. Basically, that's what happens under the full moon. Leading up to the full moon, if you go outside, everything's really dark. You can't really see. Things are, you know, you think you can see things. It's almost like a state of illusion. And then the full moon shines a light on it, but it also brings all these emotions up to be cleared. But it's a clarity, and then strength. We had strength before as well. It's like I'm in charge. I'm taking control of my mental, Ace of Swords, thought patterns. I'm responding rather than reacting. I'm standing strong in my convictions, what's the word? You know what I mean? It is strength. It's having the strength to integrate the shadow, the light, and then take charge and move forward. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups is bringing three things together. But like I've said before, this is either my vibe attracts my tribe. It's the returning of somebody, possibly. Or it could be that these, the Three of Cups is like three things coming together, like I say, heart chakra, third eye, and throat chakra, all working together. But a coming together of. And again, the Three of Cups represents celebration. And then the Queen of Wands underneath that. So she is master of manifestation. I am the Shadow Queen. I am not afraid. And she definitely does. She is a warrior. She goes in, does the work, looks at her shadow, brings it to light, and comes back out with this you know, new wand, new perspective, new business idea. She's a magical manifester. See what we get with my cards. Then I'm going to move on to the, one of these is too small, I can feel it. Move on to the Labyrinth Fairies. If it, I mean, I'm going to have a look for some new cards. I'm quite happy with the way these are working. If you want, just leave me some comments. Please give it a thumbs up. It just lets me know that it's resonating. Oh, look at that. So it's like, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. And this is walking through that water. It's like, what do you imagine? Oh, God, I'll just show it to you. What do you imagine? There's a full moon there as well. But it's in daylight. So, I mean, often we do see the moon during the day. But it's above the clouds. And like I said to you, you know, a lot of us have been under the weather. This is almost like the clouds are parting. And it's a vision. It's this opportunity, especially with the roses, and it almost looks like somebody looking through a mirror. And they can see this water, which is the emotions, and then there's the sun there, but the moon is up in the background, but it's clear. There's butterflies and there's roses. So roses are spiritual enlightenment. I'm trying to see if there's anything else in there, but it's like, you know, you've got permission to see clearly, to envision whatever it is that you want, because the clouds have parted. You know, the waters are still, and it's time to, like I say, you've got the clarity. Cut ties with that which no longer serves you, whether it be thought patterns. Follow the sun. And we've got the sun and the moon in both this, but there's going to be lots of inspirational ideas coming to the surface. And then there's, underneath that, we've got this magical doorway. I love it. So it's deep rooted. It could be old patterns, like I said at the beginning. It could be these old patterns of you know, the nurturing. I guess the negative side of the moon in Cancer is this feeling of obligation to nurture other people before ourselves. This almost feels like the veil is being lifted, and the door is opening to change. And again, because it's in the clouds, I love these cards because it's higher consciousness. It's being able to see things from looking down, you know. It's an opportunity. The door's open to walk through because the veil has been lifted. Because these old roots, trees, structures, you know, are based in a energy of confinement, really. It's almost like, oh, well, that's the way it's always been done. Well, here's a doorway. Here's the veil has been moved, has been shifted. It's the fairies. Where have they gone? It's the alternative. This is an alternative way of being, of doing things. It's okay to take time out for oneself. It's okay to unconditionally love oneself. It's okay to put oneself first. Whereas the Cancer moon tends to, oh, it's traditional. It's traditional to, you know, keep the family unit together because, you know, it kind of makes us feel a little bit like, oh, well, we can't actually, you know, cut our ties because it's family. I've done that for years. It's absolute rubbish. And it all depends on how much you unconditionally love yourself. So regardless of you know, what we're born into, we're being asked to move away from that. This Three of Cups is, you know, soul family, in alignment with who we are, not what we're born into. Right, can I have some more on the Four of Swords, the celebrations? We've got the sun and the moon, which is very balancing. Unconditional love, nurture, strength. The world is completion, but it's like, it almost feels like reaching that Queen of Pentacles energy of clearing out codependencies, clearing out, you know, other people's opinion, whatever it is. It's this, there is no lack. Honesty, another four. So honesty talks about being honest with ourselves, being honest with other people. And it does mention, I remember it saying, like, brutal honesty isn't always the right way. So when we this is definitely a call to obviously go in and see, where are we being honest with ourselves? Where are we being honest? And when we say, you know, brutal honesty isn't always necessarily the right way to do it, but it's definitely asking us or calling us to be, again, four. It's a foundation. So four in the Four of Swords is, I'm you know, I'm healing, nurturing, clearing my foundations. Learning to do that, but being honest with oneself, and then being honest about it. It's like, I have to take this time out. This is how I feel. And we've got Indy. So Indy is indecisive. He's weighing up. It's a little bit like the Two of Pentacles. He's actually standing on someone's face there. But Indy is going back and forth on a decision. Now, this could be because of commitments, family commitments, this feeling of, well, it's my responsibility to do whatever. Where is he? 63. So indecision, wishy-washy, commitment and decision making. It's decision time. Time to make up your mind, make a decision, then stick to your commitment. Set yourself a defined period to complete your decision, right down to the day and hour. Give yourself time to put the decision into practice before it's too late. Once the arbitrary but carefully judged decision time is set, ask for guidance for your highest good. Then weigh, consider, ponder and gather information. If we do this, and if we have asked for aid, the answer seems to somehow fall magically into place at the appropriate time. Then it is just a matter of trusting that answer and carrying it through. We can ask for help with that as well if we wish. It is willingly given. I do love these fairies. So yeah, that could be a little bit of, you know, like I said, it's that old Cancer moon. It's traditional. It's one of the oldest patterns actually to probably break, because it's the oldest planet of, I've got commitments, I've got family commitments, I've got this, I've got that, I'm going back and forth on this decision. You know, and the sun and the moon, they're the opposites of each other. The emotions, you know, the Cancer moon does bring up very strong emotions. Always follow the sun. Whatever it is that lights you up, whatever it is that gives you cause to celebrate, whatever it is then going to unconditionally benefit you and then unconditionally benefit other people. This fell out on Indy. Solace, the sun. He represents the sun. Look at his eyes. So he's a 13. So 1 and 3 represent 4 as well. It's almost like the light coming in today is just shining this light on all of these cards. So I think he's almost like the divine 1 at 13. So it's almost like the divine. So it's knowledge, consciousness, synthesis and spiritual empowerment, which is the Chariot, which is, you know, working with the moon, working with the sun, integrating it, and then getting in the Chariot, being completely honest with ourselves, and then moving forward. Here he is, shining. Solace is radiant, energizing and vitalizing. This presence in a reading often indicates that something new is being brought into being in our lives, partly through our own efforts and partly through the help we are receiving from other realms. Miracles may take place. Movement into light is occurring. This is a time for taking action, passing on our blessings and learning, for service given from a position of strength. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to close with a rose. Yeah, because he's upside down. I don't know why he's upside down. but it's Goo the slow, but he was reversed. So maybe, you know, if he was reversed, maybe like Solace said, it's time to take action. It's time to get in that chariot. It's time to go. Because the fairies of inspiration. Born in the dawn. I think it's die in the twilight. So if you meet somebody who feels from the fairy realm, you say, born in the dawn, and they reply, die in the twilight, and then you know that you're on the same page. Close with a rose. I should do some more. I should probably do another one on the moon when we get there. This is just leading up. Or a message from the ravens. Just feel it out. Close with a rose. What messages do we have to close this? Message from the fairies today. Bottom of the deck, we have the thorn. Protection, boundaries, and clear communication. It's no is no, or yes is yes. There's no messing around, and that's what that you know, the indie going back and forth is like. I know this is, you know, this is something I've got to do, but I'm worried about what everyone else is going to think or say or feel. We're not responsible for that. The thorn, protection, boundaries, and clear communication. When it's a no, there's so much light coming in. When it's a no, it's a no. And then let's see, this fell out on the 3 of Cups, the honesty and indie. Now the 3 of Cups can also represent people coming back from the past, but sub Rosa, hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning and teaching. Hidden in plain sight. So the answers are right in front of you. It's just, she's got this little triangle that she's holding around her heart. Mysteries, learning and teaching. So whatever it is, like with this fairy and the alternative, she's going back to old. It's old because it's the rings in the tree, and these are hundreds of years old, and then passing it on. She's lighting up the other fairies' wings with this hidden knowledge, learning and teaching. I love you lots.